Most men never realize it. But beneath every choice they make, every woman they chase, every heartbreak they suffer, an invisible force is pulling the strings. Carl Jung called them archetypes, ancient, primal blueprints of the feminine psyche that dictate how women think, love, and destroy. By the end of this, you'll see the patterns. Why you're drawn to certain women, why they leave, why you feel empty even when you win. This isn't just psychology. This is the raw, unflinching truth about female nature, ripped straight from the depths of the collective unconscious. Jung understood something most men never will. The first woman who shaped you wasn't your girlfriend. It wasn't your wife. It was your mother. And the imprint she left on your soul? It dictates everything. Here's the brutal truth. If your mother was nurturing, you'll chase comfort. If she was distant, you'll obsess over unattainable women. If she was controlling, you'll confuse anxiety for attraction. Jung called this the mother complex, a psychological wound disguised as desire. You think you're choosing partners. You're not. You're reenacting childhood scripts written before you had a voice. Ever wondered why you keep falling for the same type of woman, even when it ends the same way? That's not coincidence. It's possession. The archetype has you. But the mother is only the beginning. Jung uncovered something darker, the anima, the unconscious feminine force inside every man. She's the reason you daydream about the one. The reason heartbreak feels like death. The reason you'll throw away your ambitions, your dignity, even your sanity, for a glimpse of affection. Here's the shock. The women you fall for aren't real. They're projections, blank screens where your anima paints her fantasy. The more mysterious, the more emotionally unavailable, the more painful she is, the harder you chase. Why? Because your anima doesn't want happiness. She wants completion. And she'll burn your life down to get it. Jung warned. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Most men never wake up. They just keep bleeding for ghosts. Now here's where it gets dangerous. Archetypes aren't just inside you, they're inside her. And the one dominating modern culture? The femme fatale, the siren, the destroyer. The woman who doesn't want love, she wants power. Look around. Social media is a femme fatale training ground, teaching women to weaponize mystery, to trade intimacy for influence, to turn male desire into a currency. Jung saw this coming. Where love rules, there is no will to power. And where power predominates, their love is lacking. Most men are blind. They think her attention is real. They think her vulnerability is trust. They don't realize she's not playing the game. She is the game. But this is only the surface. Because now we go deeper into the shadow archetypes, the ones women themselves don't realize control them. The ones that explain why she left, why she came back, and why none of it was ever about you. What comes next is where most men finally see the strings. You felt it before, the whiplash. One moment she's warm, loving yours. The next, cold, distant, gone. You tell yourself it's her choice. You're wrong. Jung uncovered a truth most men and most women never face. Beneath the persona, beneath the logic, beneath the carefully crafted identity, lurks the shadow. The repressed, denied, monstrous side of the feminine psyche. And when it erupts, no amount of love, loyalty, or reason can stop it. This isn't about blame. It's about biology. And if you don't understand it, you'll keep mistaking her chaos for cruelty, when in reality she's just as helpless as you are. Every fairy tale warns you. The witch doesn't attack strangers. She feeds on devotion. Jung called this archetype the destructive mother. The part of a woman that resents being needed, even as she demands it. She'll lure you in with care, with nurturing, with the promise of safety, only to punish you the moment you depend on her. Sound familiar? The girlfriend who begs for vulnerability, then loses respect when you show it. The wife who complains you're distant, but recoils when you try to connect. The modern woman who says she wants equality, yet still expects you to lead. This isn't hypocrisy, it's possession. The witch hates weakness, because weakness forces her into a role she never chose, and her retaliation is instinctive. Jung warned, the brighter the light, the darker the shadow. The more a woman identifies as loving, the more vicious her shadow becomes when triggered. Now the most dangerous archetype of all, the puer aeternus, the eternal girl, the woman who refuses to grow up. Jung saw her everywhere, the 30-year-old with the soul of a teenager, the serial dater who just hasn't found the right guy, the influencer chasing endless novelty, endless drama, endless validation. Here's the brutal truth. A woman stuck in this archetype doesn't want a partner. She wants an audience. She'll crave stability, but sabotage it the moment it's secure. She'll demand maturity, but despise men who actually have it. She'll preach empowerment, while remaining emotionally illiterate. Why? Because growth terrifies her. Responsibility suffocates her. And so, like a child, she destroys what she can't control. This is where most men break. Because the cruelest trick of the feminine psyche isn't what it does to you. It's what it does to her. Jung called it dissociation, the ability to act from the shadow, then genuinely believe she didn't. She'll leave you shattered, and truly think you hurt her. She'll rewrite history, and fully believe the new version. She'll crave love, but only as long as it's unstable. This isn't malice. It's self-preservation. The feminine mind must believe in its own innocence, even as it destroys everything it touches. But here's the twist. You have a shadow, too. And until you face it, you'll keep attracting women who force you to. This is where most men quit. Because the next truth isn't about her. It's about you. You've spent your life believing women are the problem. But what if the real enemy has been you this entire time? Jung uncovered an uncomfortable truth. Every man is haunted by the same demons. They just wear different faces. The overbearing mother you resent, she shaped your desires. The femme fatale who destroyed you, she mirrored your hunger. The good girl who betrayed you, she exposed your naivety. This isn't about blame. It's about awakening. Because until you face the darkness within, you'll keep repeating the same cycles, thinking this time will be different. This time you'll win. Only to end up broken again by forces you refuse to see. There's a reason you're drawn to chaos. A reason pain feels like passion. A reason you confuse drama for love. Jung called it the wounded masculine, the part of you that believes suffering is strength. You chase unavailable women because subconsciously, you don't believe you deserve love. You tolerate disrespect because deep down, you think you're unworthy of loyalty. You sacrifice yourself for women who wouldn't cross the street for you. Because martyrdom is the only way you know how to feel needed. This isn't romance, it's self-sabotage. And the more you deny it, the tighter the noose becomes. But the wounded king has a counterpart. The tyrant. The part of you that hates women even as you crave them. You see him in the nice guy, who secretly resents every woman who rejects him. The red pill grifter who preaches game, but can't sustain a real relationship. The divorced man who blames his ex for everything, yet still stalks her social media. Jung warned, The shadow is a moral problem that challenges the whole ego personality. The man who won't face his own darkness doesn't become enlightened. He becomes bitter. And bitterness is the stench of a soul rotting from the inside. Here's the cruelest joke of all. Even when you win, it doesn't fix you. You grind, you build, you conquer, yet the moment you achieve what you thought would fulfill you, the void grows. Why? Because you've been chasing the wrong thing. Jung called this the false hero, the man who believes external validation can heal internal brokenness. You think money will make her respect you. It won't. You think status will make her love you. It won't. You think sex will make you whole. It never does. The tragedy? The more you succeed without self-awareness, the more hollow your victories become. But there's hope. Because Jung's greatest revelation wasn't about the darkness, it was about the light on the other side. The integrated man is the one who, 1, stops projecting his anima onto women, and finally sees them, not his fantasy. 2, faces his shadow, so he stops self-destructing in ways he doesn't understand. 3, builds a life so meaningful that female approval becomes optional, not oxygen. This isn't about becoming invincible, it's about becoming real. But integration isn't the end, it's the beginning. Because now we go beyond psychology, where most men fail. Not because they're weak, but because they don't realize the war was never about women at all. The final truth changes everything. You've followed the trail this far, through the labyrinth of archetypes, the shadows of your psyche, the brutal truths about why you suffer. Now comes the most important question. What will you do with this knowledge? Because here's the secret Jung discovered too late. Understanding your demons isn't enough. You must use them. This isn't about fixing yourself. It's about something far more radical, rebirthing yourself. Alchemists weren't chasing literal gold. They were coding a psychological truth. Suffering is the raw material of transformation. Your heartbreaks, your betrayals, your darkest nights, these aren't punishments. They're initiations. The mother who wounded you, she gave you the gift of resilience. The femme fatale who broke you, she taught you discernment. The loneliness that haunts you, it's carving out space for wisdom. Jung wrote, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain. The man who runs from his pain remains a boy forever. The man who alchemizes it, he becomes something rare, a true adult." Here are the fourfold path, Jung's blueprint for masculine mastery. 1. Solitude, not isolation, but deliberate separation from the herd. The modern world will try to keep you distracted, addicted, chasing cheap validation. Resist. 2. Shadow work. Every day ask, what am I refusing to see about myself? The parts you deny control you. The parts you face become power. 3. Creative destruction. Burn the versions of yourself that keep failing. The needy boyfriend, the approval seeker, the martyr. Let them die. 4. Sacred purpose. Not a job, not a hobby. A calling so compelling that women become a complement to your life, not the point of it. This isn't self-help. It's soulcraft. Here's the paradox no one tells you. The more you need love, the less you're capable of it. The more you transcend needing it, the more you can truly give it. Jung called this individuation, the process of becoming so whole that relationships stop being crutches and start being choices. Think of the healthiest man you know. The one with quiet confidence. The one who loves deeply but never desperately. That's not luck. That's work. The feminine archetypes, the shadows, the pain, they were never the enemy. They were messengers. Every betrayal was showing you where you were naive. Every heartbreak was revealing where you were incomplete. Every obsession was pointing to parts of yourself you'd abandoned. Jung's greatest lesson? Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. The boy clings to fairy tales. The addict chases highs. The coward stays bitter. But the man, he thanks his demons for their lessons. He bows to his past for its scars. Then he builds something that outlasts them all. This is your moment. The archetypes have spoken. Now, what will you become?